What is up, my incredible, amazing YouTube friends? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back for another amazing, super epic detail. Today we have a Toyota Sienna. Inside has definitely got some stank to it. It's got some stuff in it, and the exterior is actually really not that bad. It's not that old. It's got like 27,000 miles. This detail is going to be sick. I like these van transformations, even though they take a lot longer. They're just that much more satisfying. So without much further ado, let's go to work. We definitely have on this trim package, we have carpeted wheel wells, I think in the front. Absolutely, I have confirmed they are in the front and in the rear, which I don't know. They say it's for sound deadening. I'm pretty sure it's just because they want to get garage floors dirty all over the world, because I don't know if it deadens that much sound. I really don't. I think it's just annoying. Maybe it does, I don't know. I drove a Bronco the other day for like a week, and it's just loud. Some vehicles are just loud. I've kind of convinced myself of that. And even this, it's super duper quiet, and I'm pretty sure it'd be super duper quiet without that. But regardless, I hate it. I hate it. So maybe I forgot to do the before videos till just now. Oopsie, sorry about that. Also, do you like the curl on the stash? I absolutely hate it. It was done as a joke with some friends, and now it's kind of still going, and the family says that it's funny and I should keep it. I don't know if I will. But it is funny. It looks ridiculous. It won't stay for sure. As soon as I go to wipe the sweat off my face, it's gonna fall out, but the curls, let's see. Oh, yeah, they're still there, kind of, holding in there barely. I hate it. Let's go foam cannoning. On this Sienna, we are actually only going to do a one-step decon because. We're going to protect the paint using a ceramic spray coating as a drying aid. it's gonna sound silly, but I actually really love super dirty interiors like this. It actually makes it way more fun, and it takes just as long as half clean interiors. The videos turn out better, and it's just a little bit more satisfying, that transformation process. Customers sometimes feel bad when they bring them to me like this, but you know what? I love doing it, so don't ever feel bad, customers. It's all good. We have two wonderful children, and even that, the Jeep stays absolutely dirty most of the time. We detail it, and then we go on an adventure, and it gets super dirty. I cast zero judgment ever on customers because sometimes you have a lot of kids, and sometimes you have a lot of activities to do, as most families do. So there's no judgment cast on what was in here, and I think it's silly that customers always feel bad for bringing me super dirty vehicles. Guess what? Life happens. The Jeep, you'd be impressed at how dirty it gets pretty much every single weekend. It's almost not worth detailing because it gets so thrashed, but of course I have to detail it because everything's worth detailing. vacuuming, it was awesome. Triggered my asthma, which is fine because that just happens. But now we are to the extraction point. It's gonna be super sick. I think there's eggs spilled back here, which, ew. Extracting the carpets wasn't as bad as I really thought it was gonna be. It went really smooth. Yeah, I mean, just in summary, not as bad as I thought. Now we're gonna clean the plastics. There's still a little bit of an odd taste in there, just an odd smell. So we're going to use the steam cleaner pretty much everywhere, carefully of course. But we're gonna have to use it a lot because I think some of these stains and some of this gunk is deep seated. So we're gonna resolve that. We will start, while the steam cleaner warms up, we'll start up here in the front. It seems to be the least dirty spot. So we'll start up here and then we'll move to the back. Call these details like the 10 vacuum details, because it seems like every time you're cleaning a tiny bit of the plastics or a seat or something, just crumbs fall out of it just everywhere. It's pretty common. So you end up running the vacuum like 90 different times, or 10 or 2. Just depends on how bad it is. Let's dress and protect the plastics. Oh, that's the wrong drawer. My back hurts. Not that one, this one. I would of course like to take some time to thank the customer. Thank you, epic customer, for letting me detail the Sienna. It was so much fun. I hope you love the results of the detail, and of course I hope you like this video. Told you it's too hot in here. My cool mustache fell out. Nah. Oh well. See you on the next one. Thanks for hanging out.